Hey everybody, welcome back to J.P.'s World of Wrestling. I am your man J.P. and it's been a while since I've posted anything. It's my day off, so I decided I'd just come on here and talk to you a little bit about something. Hold on, let me get out. Yes, got to get that Hulk Hogan LJN in the shot there. Anyway, so first thing I'm going to talk about today is AI-generated wrestling images on social media, because I'm seeing on Facebook a lot of people posting like AI images of old wrestlers. A lot of times they put them in scenes where it's like maybe it's Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior and Roddy Piper sitting around playing an old school style wrestling video game. And while I think it's great that people still have enough love and passion for the old school stuff that they want to post stuff like that, but the problem is they always look terrible. I mean, these AI images, I don't think AI has really been perfected yet. And so people put in these specs for AI to generate these images and they always just look awful. None of the wrestlers look like who they're supposed to be. I saw one where it was Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior and Andre the Giant sitting in a living room playing old wrestling video games. You know, there's beer bottles everywhere. There's half-eaten pizza all over on the wall in the back. There's supposed to be a poster that says Hulkamania, but it doesn't really say Hulkamania. It says like Hulku Man or something like that. So, it doesn't really make any sense. And the little television screen that they're playing on is facing the opposite way. I think it's just to let us know that they're playing an old video game. But in reality, you'd actually want to see the screen that you're playing on. And plus, the wrestlers themselves didn't really look quite right. Hulk Hogan's mustache was weird and their face was different. The Warrior's face didn't look like the Warrior and the face paint was completely different. And Andre the Giant just didn't look right. And there's like AI generated video clips of, pretend matches that never took place, and clips of things like an old woman being like pile driven into a bunch of tables from the top of a steel cage or something that never happened, but it looks real. But, it's just a bunch of weird stuff. I don't know what I think about it yet, or I don't know. It's just bizarre to me. That's, I grew up in a world where we watched these images on television and that's what we were seeing. We didn't have to worry about, is this really what we're seeing, or is these images created by a computer? So I guess I'm old school like that. I don't know. I'm just weird. Or am I normal and everybody else is weird? I don't know. Okay, so the subject number 2 of this video is wrestling physical media. Now, with WWE, like I've said before on this channel, all of their current shows are all dispersed on different streaming platforms, and the only place to get their modern pay-per-views is through ESPN. And I'm not spending $30 a month for ESPN. I don't care. But then some of the older select pay-per-views are available on Netflix. And Netflix also has Monday Night Raw. And USA has SmackDown, and I believe NXT is on CW. And there's a lot there. Whereas before, Peacock used to be able to go on there and get all the old WCW content, all the old like Monday Nitros and WWF Monday Night Raws and primetime wrestling, so it's changing. It's a new year, so everything's changing. Peacock no longer has the old WWF content. I mean, I know they extended their contract to have it till the end of the year of 2025, but it's 2026 now. So what I heard was that they were going to slowly integrate the old stuff onto YouTube, which would be great because YouTube is free and it's accessible to everybody. So I think that would be great. So, but for now, I think WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and Survivor Series, I think, are available on Netflix, which I did have Netflix, but I don't anymore. So, I don't know. So, with that being said, now is more important than ever for people like me to start collecting wrestling physical media. Things like this DVD, this Hulkster Rules. It's a documentary, but there's also some wrestling matches on here, and it's older WWE. You know, I'm just going to show you a few of what I have. I have more than this. I did sell off a lot of my collection, but it was all stuff I didn't really care about. But yeah, here's special edition WrestleMania 3 on DVD. You know, there's some special features on here, like old promos of Hulk and Andre leading up to that event. And here's an old WrestleMania 4. There's part 1 and part 2. This was ripped from an old VHS tape. There's a guy on eBay, I think he's called Mr. Coliseum, that sells these on eBay on DVD. But yeah, that's WrestleMania 4. So this is No Mercy 2008. This is special to me because my first wife and I were actually at this event. It was in Portland, Oregon. And actually there are certain parts of this DVD where you can actually look up and you can actually see me and my first wife up in the stands. It's mostly during the ladder match between Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho and the MVP segment, the Montel Vontavious Porter segment, where he's talking and the camera spans up and you can actually see her and I up in the stands. So we got WrestleMania 6 on DVD. This is cool. I love this. It's just an individual WrestleMania 6 DVD. And then we have the Mega Powers Explode WrestleMania 5. This is one of my all-time favorite WrestleManias as well as WrestleMania 6. But Hulk and Macho for the WWF title. WrestleMania 5. I love this. And then we have 2 Hulk Hogan DVDs. We have Hulk Hogan Unreleased Collector Series on DVD. So, and I think this is a 3 DVD collection. Yeah, there's... Whoops. There's 3 DVDs here. Plus a little booklet there. But, this other one fell on the floor here. So... years ago, my best friend bought me this. It's the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Anthology. And he made me promise never to sell it or get rid of it. And I'm not ever going to get rid of this. Because I really like this. It's a good collection of matches. And it's a matches that span Hulk Hogan's entire WWE, WWF career. All in one DVD collection. So, and then... I'll show you this. This is the WWE SummerSlam Anthology Collection. It goes from 1988 to 2007. It looks like a cooler that you'd take out during summertime. There's all the box sets right there. But that's pretty cool as well. It actually reminds me of a WrestleMania collection I used to have years ago on VHS. It was WrestleMania 1 through 14. I got it in 1998, but in 1998, I had a full-time job, and I was living at home with my parents, and they weren't charging me rent, so I was doing pretty good. I mean, my entire paycheck was take-home, and I was working full-time. I wasn't in school, so I did really well. I did really well back then, and one of the things I loved to do is get on a bus and go to the local mall, which was called Clackamas Town Center Mall, and they had a store. And in this store, they would sell wrestling VHS tapes, along with a lot of, like, I also bought a lot of Mystery Science Theater 3000 VHS tapes in there. So, but they also had a lot of older wrestling videos, but I bought this entire WrestleMania VHS collection on VHS, and I've showed it on the channel before, and I think I still have it somewhere. So, but then I'm going to show you this stack of DVDs I got here. I got the best of WWF Volume 15 on DVD, ripped from a VHS tape. Best of WWF, Volume 11. There's Piper on the other side. And that was ripped from a VHS tape. Then I got the Best of WWF, Volume 13. And also, again, ripped from VHS. All these were ripped from VHS tapes, so I don't have to say that every single time. But there's Volume 18. I used to have this on VHS tape. And here's Volume 19. And then I also used to have this on VHS tape. It's Volume 20, Best of WWF, Volume 20. I think one of them was hosted by Mean Gene Okerlund or something like that. I don't know, but those are pretty cool. Those all have like a series of matches on them from like house shows from the Boston Garden and Madison Square Garden and stuff that you'd see on primetime wrestling back in the day. But anyway, that's just kind of where my mind is. I'm starting to collect WWF physical media, old school physical media. If that means I got to go back to Mr. Coliseum's page on eBay, I'll do that. I'll start buying stuff from him. I'm going to try to get as much stuff I can on Blu-ray, but it's not always available on Blu-ray, so I'll just stick with DVD. Hopefully, you know, my DVD player, it's also a Blu-ray player. Hopefully that will last. I'm sure it will, because I don't really use it all that often, but, you know, I thought about going and buying some, like, a couple of cheap DVD/Blu-ray players, just to have them extra on hand in case one goes out and I have another one as backup to fall back on. But anyway, wrestling physical media, you know, this is the stuff that I think that wrestling fans, we should be thinking about collecting, because we don't know if stuff's going to be available on the internet anymore or not. But this is the way to go back and reminisce about those old times that we love so very, very much in professional wrestling. So that is going to do it for this video. So if you're new, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.